My name is Chloe Rosal.
I'm Dustin Kostescu.
My name is Liz Elwood.
My name is Neil Salinas.
Hello, I'm Dr. Marla Shapiro.
I'm Donna McLaughlin, and this is my husband, David McLaughlin.
My name is Dr. Vivian Brown.
The day I realized that HPV was going to have an important role to play in my life was actually the day I was diagnosed with cancer.
The moment I realized that HPV was going to be an important part of my life was when my little sister Allison got diagnosed with cervical cancer.
My husband, David, was advised that he had throat cancer.
As a physician, I've watched women die.
This patient was only a few years older than I was, and she was fighting for her life.
I remember that day vividly. Had a great family dinner, and all of a sudden, Allison said, "So I got diagnosed with cervical cancer."
Our doctor, she took a look at him and she said, "You need to go get some tests done." And I think 2 weeks later from that, David ended up in Toronto General getting prepared for chemo and radiation.
When I heard the word tumor, I was shocked. I looked at my doctor and I said, "Wait, you can get cancer from having sex?" And he said, "Yeah, there's a virus. It's called HPV."
We hadn't heard really of HPV before.
I had no idea about HPV.
What strikes me the most often is that people don't know that HPV is a virus that's transmitted sexually, and they don't know that this virus causes cancer.
Human papillomavirus is a very common virus.
The reality is that, if you've had more than one sexual partner in your lifetime, you've probably seen HPV or it's seen you.
An estimated 75% of sexually active Canadians will be exposed to HPV at some point in their life. Most people clear HPV virus.
But for those of us who don't, it can lead to cancer.
Sexually transmitted disease is always something that's going to happen to somebody else, right? It never happens to you. And so, we go decades without ever hearing about this virus or understanding what the consequences of them are.
HPV has taken a lot from my life. It took away my ability to have a child. It's taken away having a clean bill of health.
There's been so many things that have happened in my life, monumental moments that we promised each other we were going to be there for, and she's not here.
HPV has taken his voice, his ability to eat.
Sleeping. I have to sleep elevated.
Oh yeah, he has to sleep elevated. So that's a challenge as well.
HPV is not a women's disease.
Remember, Allison said, "No, this virus affects you too."
HPV does not discriminate. It can affect girls, boys, the young, the old, and everybody in between. But we have a strategy, and it's HPV vaccination.
The moment that I realized we can prevent cancers with a vaccine was monumental. We can prevent a cervical cancer, a genital cancer, a throat cancer.
Literally, if I had had this vaccination a few years before, it would have prevented the type of cervical cancer I had.
What gives me hope?
What gives us hope?
What gives me hope is that HPV is preventable.
We can prevent it.
You can prevent HPV. As you can see, we have all been affected by HPV. We are doctors, patients, advocates, and cancer survivors. We are brothers, sisters, and parents. We are Canada versus HPV. Join us. Together, we can prevent HPV-related cancers and diseases.